Okay, all right. Welcome everyone to another Buzz Slayers interview. I'm here with Alla Arutyunyan, and for those of you that aren't familiar with her music, you do these like kind of classical pieces, but to me they connect with me differently than just like a classical piece because I'm a big fan of cinema. Your songs are very super emotionally driven pieces of music. I think that first of all, you have like 5 or 6 full albums, like first of
And
all.
actually 7 now.
So is Beyond Suffering the 7th?
Yes, it is the 7th one.
That is nuts. And so I have so many questions in terms of where it all began and the beautiful baby grand that's sitting behind you. Is that a baby grand or is that a full?
It's actually a medium.
It's a medium. Wow. I'm not super familiar with like the sizes of grand pianos, but it's gorgeous. Just looking at it behind you is like boom, like oh my god. It's hard for me to be like go play something. But anyway, so in terms of where are we right now? Are we in like your rehearsal space, and is this where you record your stuff as well?
I do everything here. I write and record here in this home studio, and it's a very simple process. There's just one mic and acoustic instrument. That's all I really need to make things happen.
I think that's part of how the way that you record the music. And first of all, I mean, when I first listened to your stuff, you can tell someone like I've been doing this for years and years. I'm a musician too. I can tell the difference between a keyboard and an actual piano when you hear the recording. And that was the first like really attractive thing. I was like, yeah, okay, this is real piano, because there's just something about the tonality of the instrument that's just, my favorite instrument's a cello. So see what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like the natural warm tone of that kind of instrument, those kinds of instruments, like a medium grand or a grand piano, the natural. So I could hear it on the recordings, and that was like, okay, this is a real piano she's playing on. And you write all these pieces of music. And when you mic up your, you said one mic. So where is it in the room that you put the mic? Like right above, like with the opening, or?
I actually place it inside the soundboard. Yes, I do. And I've done it across the board for every single album. I just wanted the sound to be reflected in the same way across each album. And I wanted that kind of consistency so that you receive the sound in the same way across the board. And it's been very challenging. I never mention these things because I want the listener to just focus on the music, but this antique grand has put me through hell the way I put it through hell. It's broken, and I just wanted to mention this because there is a lot of confusion when it comes to the recording of my music. Yes, a lot of the new listeners wonder why there are so many inconsistency when it comes to the recording of the pieces. The piano is not in a good condition and never has been. It's out of tune for the most part, and it goes out of tune even after you bring it back to the tuned condition, and it's haunted. I just have to get it out there.
I love that. Look, first of all, I kind of know what it takes to tune a piano. I've seen it being done before. It's not easy whatsoever. How quickly does it go back out of tune?
It would take just a few weeks for it to sound a bit different.
Wow.
Which is why I stopped worrying about it. And a lot of my listeners started mentioning how that made sense for the kind of music that I write.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
and also I could agree with other elements of it as well. I'm very much like the instrument that I play. It's as unpredictable and rough around the edges as I can be as a person and the music that I write. And I think it all makes sense in the end of the day, and it's meant to be. The instrument will find you, the one that is meant to be with you. And it was with me all along from the day I started recording, and the style that has somehow revealed itself to me, the kind of music, the kind of sound that I ended up creating it with my music.
It just came naturally.
It became a part of it. Yes, it became a part of this musical exploration and turmoil that um, became a huge element in producing this much emotion and enabling me to express it.
Yeah.
And I am glad that it is not as perfect as you would expect an instrument to sound.
Do you sit behind other pianos at any place and like play? And if you do, does it feel different because it's not your connective spirit animal, spirit instrument?
That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because I only got a chance to play on one other acoustic grand couple months ago, and it felt like I wasn't even playing music when I did that. It's almost like the soul of this instrument is now part of me. It is so deeply attached to who I am as a musical artist, at least, not as an individual, but at least as someone who is able to express something musically. And there is also a sense of betrayal when I go away from it. And
Yeah. You don't want to do it. You feel bad. You feel like you're doing something wrong, leaving it. Do you have a name for it? If you don't, it's cool. I was just asking.
I wanted to give it respect that it deserved, because when I came around it, it's already um, had quite a long life. It's 1937 antique.
Wow.
Which is why I didn't want to change or manipulate its identity in any way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By giving it a name or by.
Yeah, it's had a history before you came along. Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yes, and I wanted to respect that. And also it shared a bit of that with me along the way. Like I said, it's haunted, and I could hear and feel the presence of um, certain spirit that is almost like protecting the instrument and is watching over it. I feel like something is going on beyond what I can see and sense. Even when
But you can feel it.
I can feel it with my whole being. It becomes really overwhelming at times, because when I'm in the middle of writing music, I can feel it wanting to become a part of the process. There are times when I see hand marks on my piano.
Wow.
I woke up one night to someone playing the piano, and it was, I believe, in G major. And shortly after that, I heard someone say that that is the note that was played to someone who has had a very mystical experience going beyond this reality. They mentioned that that is the note that was played to them by God, and that this is the music that resonated in heavens. And when I realized that that is exactly what I heard waking up one day in the middle of the night to the piano playing that exact same note, I knew that this instrument was in a way working with the other realm, the higher beings that were trying to impart some of their
Just their,
love.
yeah, just their, just that they're there, right? Like,
Maybe it is their way of
like
sharing the light that is very hard to reach for where we are.
you do, you do kind of do performances for people virtually like this, like, okay. And so you kind of set up a camera and you put on these performances for people virtually, and you play for like an hour or something like that.
No, I actually have very long sessions that last anywhere from 3 to 7 hours. I had those very long sessions when I started. I had to find the right timing, and now it seems like 3 hours is the perfect timing.
What is there something holding you back from performing in person, or do you just not want to perform in front of people in person?
There is nothing holding me back except for the fact that I write original music, and this is not something that is in demand by just any
I can understand that.
live venue. You know, it's something that I have to take into account and not take it personally, which is very frustrating because you want to play the music for real human beings sitting in front of you,
Right, yeah.
sharing the energy of the
Yeah.
music with them. This is what this is about. And even though I see a lot of good in having an ability to reach people across the globe doing this virtually, I am adamantly against having this be the only way of living and expressing what we do musically. It needs to be connected directly to the people, and I miss doing that, exchanging that kind of energy with music.
Before were you playing piano before this you met this instrument? And when, if so, probably, right? And when did this all start for you? Explain that one.
I rarely talk about this because I just like leaving the past in the past.
Oh, we don't have to if you don't want to. That's okay.
No, I'm very much open to talking about anything. There's nothing for me to hide, and I'm very vulnerable with my audience, so this is never going to be a problem talking about things of that nature. But I used to work in the film industry as an actress, and this was never in the realm of my direct existence and reality. I never intended on doing this with my life. I mentioned a few times before that I came across playing music in a time when I needed to cope with very difficult things in my life, and there was never in my life that I could really express any intimate moments with, and expressing things creatively was always a way for me to do so. I was a visual artist when I was a young girl growing up in Moscow. I started very young. When I was 4, I already had my work placed in exhibitions. Um, and
Wow.
and that was going to be my life. I was a visual artist for many years and still am. Um, I thought that was going to be my life for the longest time. Then moving to the States changed a lot of things for me. I was always a writer as well, a poet and a writer, and that also helped me express some very difficult emotions as well. And acting was another thing that seemed like a very proper thing to do. It's something that had no one around to share anything with. When you feel like you may stop breathing out of nowhere one day because there's so much going on inside you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Expressing things creatively ends up being the only thing you can do to survive psychologically, and this is what I kept doing. And it never had to do with the way I did it, it just had to be done creatively somehow. And music came along very late in life. I was in my 20s, I was an adult already. I never played a single note, a single melody before. I was terrified of having anyone watch me place my hands on the keys. And I had a keyboard that was staring at me, and I decided to make something happen. And something inside me, since I was very young, had this pull towards a piano. My family always had an upright, and I always felt attracted to the instrument. And there were external circumstances and forces that prevented me from doing what I wanted to do. And music was genuinely what I dreamed of doing, but never had a chance to. I even secretly signed up for folk instrument lessons. There was someone that came by our school back in Russia when I was a young girl, and I signed up for the music lessons, and my mother picked up the phone and hung up on this man that wanted me to come in for lessons, and that was it. There was nothing I could do about it, and she never let me to take piano lessons either, even though she was a musician also. She always played around me, but music was forbidden for reasons I don't understand. Although when I was 11, I sneaked into a room when no one was home and my mother was away, and I did some crazy improvisation that sounded like music, but that was just the one time. I think I was 11. One time when I realized that I wasn't hallucinating,
Right.
that there was actually music inside me that needed to come through somehow. And it took 10 years after that for me to come back to the keys and do this consciously. And
Wow.
I taught how to myself to play by composing music. And this is what I'm doing right now with cello and violin. I started writing music.
Don't even tell me. No.
Yes,
No.
I actually finished writing classical pieces on both instruments.
Someone that knows you from this doesn't know the rest of your life. So when I look at you, I'm going, okay, cool. Well, you know, she's Mike, I want to know, like, what do you like? What's in like your Spotify? Like, who are you listening to right now? What kind of stuff do you listen to normally just to hang?
I grew up on rock, a lot of rock music, and this is something that I would go to if I had a chance to be by myself and try to escape this place. And even though I don't do this as often anymore, because I would like to keep my work isolated from other artists' music and not let it be affected by it. I used to listen to music more before I started recording during the pandemic. This is when I actually started recording music. And there were other things that I came to naturally. There was a lot of electronic music that had a very unexpected, strange influence on me because I didn't expect to enjoy listening to something like that to begin with. Trip hop is probably one of the more
Cool.
favorite experimental things that I would listen to. To me, it's an experiment when different genres come together. And I love being surprised by some of those things and actually enjoy listening to a very foreign to me sounds. And alternative rock is always something that I go to consciously, but there is also a lot of great hip hop music from back in the day that I don't mind listening to. Anything that is very raw in its expression and nature, I am very respectful and of and admire those that don't hold back and help us experience what they live through. And this is what makes us human, and the connection that we create amongst each other through music is priceless. It is beyond anything that you may seem to value in the physical material world. It is very sacred. It is beyond the things of mortal nature. Music is
immortal.
Internal. Yes, it is. Right. It is quite powerful, no matter how it is expressed. And I listen to music with hopes of experiencing something that I never have before, and it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's cool. So you listen to all different kinds of stuff. It's good to know these kinds of things, you know, because you know you play such a particular brand of music, your stuff. And so it's when one listens to your records and they go, wow, I wonder what else does she listen? What is she listening to? Like what, and it's crazy that you're able to, just take your experiences and take your emotions and put them into your music. And then it's like, okay, cool. I recorded this record, and then you go, and you're listening to like, old school, hip hop or alternative rock or trip hop. I like that you're into stuff that's anything that has an impact, basically, that's able to also express emotions. And a lot of alternative rock expresses great emotion. So that's always interesting to know. So, well, this is beautiful. Thank you again for doing this. Just so everybody knows, so Beyond Suffering is the latest record. It's out now.